So you only have $3,000 a month to spend. What do your monthly bills add up to? What are the things you can't live without? And what things can you let go in order to make your money last? Most retirees sit down in year one, do the math, build the budget, and feel pretty good about it. Pension coming in, savings in the bank, expenses mapped out. But here's what nobody told them. That budget they built is already wrong. Not because they made a mistake, because they built it for today, and they're going to be living it for the next 25 years. It makes complete sense that we build budgets this way. You list what comes in, you list what goes out, and if the numbers work today, you feel secure. That feeling is real, but the budget itself has a flaw built into it from day one. A retirement budget built on today's costs is a snapshot being used as a long-term plan. And a static budget in a world where prices keep rising is really just a slow leak. It looks fine at first. Then one day, you notice the water damage. The danger isn't bad spending habits. It isn't poor discipline. It's the quiet assumption that what things cost today is what they'll cost in year 5, year 10, year 15 of your retirement. That assumption is costing people thousands of dollars, and most people don't see it coming until it's already happened. Let's put real numbers on this, because that's the only way to understand how serious it is. If you're living on $3,000 a month today, and inflation runs at just 3% a year, which is actually conservative given what we've seen recently, here's what the same lifestyle costs you over time. Today, $3,000 a month. In 5 years, $3,478 per month. In 10 years, $4,032 a month. In 15 years, $4,673 a month. And in 20 years, $5,418 a month. That's $2,418 more per month for the exact same life. The same groceries, the same utilities, the same prescriptions, just more expensive versions of everything you already buy. And here's the part that really matters. Your pension isn't growing at 3% a year. For most retirees, it's fixed, which means the gap between what you have coming in and what your life actually costs gets wider every single year. Now 3% is the average, but the 3 categories that hit retirees hardest, groceries, utilities, and healthcare, they've been inflating faster than average. Healthcare especially has been running at roughly double the general inflation rate for years. So that gap we just looked at, for many retirees, it's actually bigger. Let's break down where the pressure actually comes from, because it's not spread evenly across your budget. Groceries. For a retiree on a fixed income, groceries make up a much larger percentage of monthly spending than someone who's still working. That means when grocery prices go up, and they've gone up significantly in recent years, it hits harder, proportionally, than it hits someone with a growing income. Utilities. Energy costs, electricity, gas, heating, have consistently outpaced general inflation. And unlike a restaurant meal you can skip, you can't opt out of heating your home in January. Healthcare. This is the big one. Medicare covers a lot, but not everything. Prescription costs, supplemental coverage, dental, vision, hearing. These are real expenses that tend to grow both in cost and in frequency as we get older. A retiree at 75 typically spends significantly more on healthcare than they did at 65, even accounting for Medicare. These 3 categories alone can quietly overwhelm a budget that looked perfectly balanced in year 1. So what do you actually do about this? Here are 4 specific things that make a real difference. First, build a cost increase into your budget from day 1. When you're planning your annual expenses, assume they'll be 3 to 4% higher next year. Not because you're being pessimistic, but because you're being realistic. That assumption gives you time to adjust gradually instead of scrambling when costs jump. Second, review your budget every January. Not when something feels wrong. Not when a bill shocks you. Every January, sit down and compare what you spent last year to what you planned to spend. That annual check-in catches the drift before it becomes a crisis. Third, Separate your healthcare budget from your general budget. Healthcare costs follow their own inflation curve, and they tend to increase as you age, regardless of what the rest of the economy is doing. Give it its own line, its own reserve, and its own annual review. Fourth, know which of your expenses are truly fixed and which ones have flexibility. Your mortgage or your rent? Fixed. Your prescriptions? Mostly fixed. But dining out, subscriptions, travel, those have room to move. Knowing which category each expense falls into means when costs rise, you know exactly where you can adjust without sacrificing what matters most to you. The retirees who thrive financially aren't necessarily the ones who spend the least. They're the ones who planned for the budget to change and built that flexibility in from the start. A static budget in retirement isn't a plan. It's a guess. And now you have the tools to build something better. Next week, we're going to look at exactly how to make your savings last 30 years, even as costs keep climbing. Because knowing the problem is only half of it. The strategy for your savings is where the real protection comes from. That one's coming next week, right here on the Retirement Reboot.